Hello and welcome to Sunnyside Crochet. Today we'll be learning a star stitch. Now don't be afraid of doing special stitches. Almost every stitch is a variation of the very basic stitches. Breaking them down into their basic forms is probably the easiest way to learn new stitches. Besides, I love the texture this easy stitch creates. Now Dolly here volunteered to help with my photo tutorial. Her shrug started with a chain of 38 plus 4 for the first stitch. My large blanket shrug started with a chain of 150 plus 4. Alright, I like to wrap up in warm things as I consider hibernation, so I'm 5'3" and about 150 pounds, but I made my blanket shrug pretty big just so I could wrap up in it. I don't like being cold. So, we will teach you how to do the star stitch. And Dolly really likes her blanket shrug too. So, to start, we need an even number of chains. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just going to do 10 and we'll chain 4 more. 4 to account for the first stitch. Okay. So we already have one loop on our chain or on our hook, so we need 6. So we're going to insert our hook. Now I always use the back loop on my chains. I think it just gives the bottom of my work a much more finished look. So I'm going to work in the back loop. I'm going to yarn over and pull through. So I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to do this in the third one. Now we have 3. Going to insert my hook in the fourth one, pull through, and 5 right there, and 6. Okay, and then this next step is super simple. We're just going to yarn over, pull through, and chain 1, and there's our first star stitch. Alright, this next stitch is a little more involved, only slightly. We're going to start our next star stitch in the first one. So what we're going to do is we're going to insert our hook in the middle of the star stitch here, yarn over, pull through. We're going to insert it in this last rib on our star and yarn over and pull through, and then we're going to insert it in the chain that made that last rib on the star, yarn over and pull through. That gives us 4. And then we're just going to yarn over and pull through the next 2 chains. And that will give us all 6 of our loops to make the next star stitch. So we will start by inserting our hook in the middle of that last star stitch, yarn over, pull through. Now we have 2 loops. Here we go in the rib, yarn over and pull through. There's 3. And we're going to insert our hook in that stitch for our last star stitch. There's 4, and then the next 2 chains, there's 5 and 6. Okay, and we're going to yarn over, pull through again, and chain 1. And then we're going to do the same thing again. We'll put our hook in the middle, yarn over, pull through. That last rib, yarn over, pull through. And sometimes it's hard to get your hook through that last rib, but it works itself out. So there's 4 and 5 and 6. Yarn over, pull through all 6, chain 1, and then we'll insert our hook in that middle again, in that last rib again, yarn over, pull through, and the last stitch from our last star stitch. There's 4 and 5 and 6. Alright, and I have one more, and then we'll show you how to do the next row. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And there we are. Now, if you don't like the way that this row ends, you can always chain an extra stitch in there and just do a double crochet to give your row a more finished edge. Kind of like you have the chain stitch on this side, you can give this end a little more finished look by just doing a double crochet on the end here. So we're going to chain one to start the next row. And in this next row, we're just going to be working in the middle of each of the star stitches. We're going to single crochet 2 in each middle just to finish up that star stitch. So we'll start there. There's the next one. Okay, now looking at the right side of the star stitches, that gives it just a much more finished look. So to finish out this row, I'm going to single crochet in that chain at the end here. And then chain 3. To start the next one. So I have one loop on my hook. I'm going to pick up 2 more in that chain. 2, 3. Pick up 4 in that first single crochet on the row that I did the chain out of, so there's 4. And then your 2 single crochets right here are 5 and 6. And then we're just going to yarn over and pull through again, just like that. Okay, in the next stitch, we will insert our hook in the middle again, just like we did before, in that last rib, in that last stitch that we just worked in. So there's 4, and then in the next 2 single crochets in to finish out that star stitch. And an easy way to figure out whether or not you missed a stitch somewhere, these will always line up. So they will be straight rows all the way up and down through your project. I found that one out the hard way. There's 4, 5, and 6. Chain in the middle, in that rib, that stitch, and the next 2, 2, alright, and this is our last star stitch in this row, so we're going to insert in the middle, insert in the rib, the last one, okay, and we're going to pull through that single crochet, and then we're going to pull through that chain stitch on the end. Sometimes that gets a little interesting. We'll straighten those out. There we are. And just like that. And then we will chain 1 and keep going with our 2 single crochets in the middle of each star stitch. And that is the star stitch. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I have. I really do enjoy the star stitch. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. Be sure to check out sunnysidecrochet.com for more great ideas. Have a great day, and as always, happy hooking!